Live from the Big Beefy Man Cave in New Bedford, Massachusetts. This is the YouTube channel vlog show in which video games, flash game show gameplays, along with sports and wrestling news are the norm. This is the YouTube channel vlog show of positivity, good times, and fun. This is Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. And now, here's the host of the show, the perpetrator of these shenanigans, Big Beefy E himself, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, I should say. Welcome to another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. This is episode number 273 of the show. How's it going, everybody? Hope you're all having a wonderful, we had a wonderful night so far. We're going to end this night, we're going to end this day with another episode of the show. We're going to talk about what just happened on NXT tonight. As you know, this is the first NXT of the new year, 2023, and also the go-home show before before New Year's Evil next week. All right, we're going to kick it off. First matchup, Apollo Crews, Carmelo Hayes. This was a heck of a matchup. It was a dream match to start off. Both men were giving it all. Trick Williams did get involved, and that distracted Crews enough for Carmelo Hayes to pick up the victory over Apollo Crews. Axiom decided to attack Trick Williams after the matchup, and it led right into the next match. Axiom versus Trick Williams. And, Carmelo Hayes tried to get involved, but Axiom outsmarted both men as Axiom did pick up the victory over Trick Williams, which prompted Hayes and Williams to attack him after the bell, but then Apollo Crews decided to chase them both off. So there's that. So, and that means Apollo Crews and Axiom may end up joining forces against Hayes and Williams. That could be something to see. And the New Day was goofing around with a Pretty Deadly, telling them to go do stuff in order for them to get the tag team titles. But then Schism confronts them, and Rhett Fowler and Jagger Reed say that they're scared of them. And no, we're not scared of you guys. You guys are too creepy, right? Joe Gacy says, I think I got starts dissing New Day, and Kofi Kingston says, I got a problem with you. And I'm surprised they didn't say anything to Ava Raine, because that would have been hilarious. Like, oh, we confronted your father, and we know who your father is, and we could have, but they didn't do that. They didn't reference The Rock, so Kofi Kingston challenges Gacy to a one-on-one match. That match happened later tonight. Then Wednesday morning, after Dijak kidnapped Channing Stacks Lorenzo, was in a deep room. Then here's what Dijak, a little bit of old school. Dijak put it in a cassette tape and pushed it down and pressed record. I'm like, that's old school, man. So you gotta let's go and talk. And he talks. He said, I don't like the fact that you came into my locker room and talked to me like the way you did. And Stacks goes, I'm just doing what the Don tells me. And then after a few punches to the gut, and then Stacks goes, I'm challenging you to a match. Because here you go, get yourself in the handcuffs, and we'll do it. So then Drew Gulak was training with Chase U students, helping them out. Hank Walker was watching, and then Andre Chase confronts Drew Gulak. They're about to go at it, and you know what? Andre Chase says, we'll do it for the ring. Then Dijak went one-on-one with Channing Stacks Lorenzo. Stacks was already been in a ticked-off mood, heading to the ring. But despite all that, Dijak won the matchup. Then, as Dijak went to continue attacking Lorenzo, here comes Tony D'Angelo saying, you think you're a tough guy about you and me next week, talk about street justice. And Dijak goes, you're on. So that's going to happen next week. Mackenzie Mitchell interviews Oro Mensa, but then freaking Javier Bernal. What this goonball doesn't even learn. You talk about this 2023, right? And this goonball still doesn't learn, right? That's about the best of Javi, big body Javi Christmas. I'm like, Christmas was 2 weeks ago. Was about a week ago. Yeah, ding dong. And Oro Mensah goes, you know what? You're going to have a voice after I'm done with you. I was like, okay. So, then Toxic Attraction comes out, and this is where the fun really begins. And now it's just Gigi Dolan, JCJ, and Gigi Dolan still looking gorgeous and hot. And JCJ's not bad looking too, I have to admit. But I'm getting drawn more towards Gigi Dolan than I am with JCJ. I have to admit that. So, anyways, so they said, and the best way to go about 2023, start off fresh and go after Roxanne Perez. But then Indy Harlow says, we're getting sick of you. Indy Harlow interrupts says, we're getting sick of Toxic Attraction. We're getting sick of this. Thought we were, when Roxanne Perez beat, they didn't reference Mandy Rose. When Roxanne Perez won the title, I thought we were over, but, she was getting sick of it. But then Cora Jade ended up saying, oh, we're sick of you, Hartwell, and I should be women's champion. I don't like Roxanne Perez. I beat Roxanne Perez before. But then Nikita Lyons, another lovely lady I like, in NXT, interrupts Cora Jade, saying, listen, there should be a new fresh blood at the top of the women's division, and I should be at the top. And Zoe Stark starts making fun of Nikita Lyons for all her social media posts, and I don't mind Nikita Lyons posting on social media because she's got curves, man. Nikita Lyons got curves, and me with no brakes, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, and Zoe Stark said I should be at the top, but then Wendy Chu interrupts Zoe Stark, and Wendy Chu goes, I don't like Cora Jade, but then Thea Hale. I like Thea Hale is like the funniest woman in that. Always like I don't know what did she even drink anything sugary stuff and everything else and crazy, and she's a little crazy and Thea Hale funny. She was like if Dana Brooke had a younger sister, Thea Hale would be perfect. I'll just bring her up to the main roster and change her last name to Thea Hale to Thea Brooke. This is my younger sister. We'll go after the women's tag team titles. There you go. Anyways, Thea goes, oh my gosh, all these ladies in here. Girl fight! And so, and the entire NXT women's division, some flying in the ring. They're brawling to the back. They're brawling everywhere, right? But then Alba Fire went to go make an appearance, and then Isla Dawn attacked her. While the women were brawling, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn were just beating the crap out of each other in the back. The referees don't try to separate all the other ladies, but then Roxanne Perez goes, ladies, calm down. Here's the deal. I was informed there'll be a 20-woman battle royal next week, and whoever wins that match will face Roxanne Perez at Vengeance Day, NXT Vengeance Day, February 4th, Charlotte, North Carolina. Woo! So there you go. But then Alba Fire and Isla Dawn didn't hear that announcement because they were too busy beating the crap out of each other in the back. And they're going, they say, hey, let's save it for the ring, get it for the match. They finally get it in the ring, an Extreme Resolutions match between Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. And they beat the crap out of each other. I mean, these ladies, they just went at it. I mean, these ladies were not afraid to hurt each other. In the end, Alba Fire hit the glory bomb on Isla Dawn through a table. 1, 2, 3. Alba Fire wins the matchup. Mackenzie Mitchell interviewed Grayson Waller about what he's going to do at the Grayson Waller Effect while he interviews Braun Breaker. And then they had an inside look from Indus Sher and the Creed brothers. And then Oro Mensah went one-on-one with Javier Bernal. Mensah won the matchup, though. And then Josh Briggs and Brooks and Jensen and Fallon Henley were celebrating the victory and Fallon Henley's bot. But then Kiana James, he said, listen, I'm not here to fight you. I'm here to congratulate you. You beat me fair and square. You beat me in the middle of the ring. Even though Kondo wouldn't look nice, but you beat me, and I'll hold up my end in the bargain. And then she looks at Brooks Jensen. Text me, will you? And Josh Briggs goes, how did that happen? I think Fallon Henley's just doing it to be nice. You know what? Wait, not Fallon Henley. Kiana James is doing it to be nice. You know what? That's very classy of Kiana James. So hopefully that'll lead to a partnership in the future. Who knows? Still good. Anywho, and then someone has been spying on Katana Chase and Kane Carter in the medical office. What is going on? NXT Anonymous. Who this NXT Anonymous person is that spied on them in the medical office, who knows for sure. Something is going on. They're the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. I say, so we'll see what happens there. So, more on that situation when the week's coming. Now before I go on about the rest of NXT here, there's a young lady. There's like a young lady talking about 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The countdown to the new year vignette. We don't know who this individual is. Looks like next week she's going to make her appearance. Is it a woman on the main roster being repackaged over on NXT? Is it somebody returning to the WWE via way of NXT? Or is it a newcomer, a brand pure newcomer? Or somebody returning to NXT in the women's division that has been injured or something like that? We don't know. We'll find out next week who that individual is when we come to it. Meanwhile, a dream matchup here. Drew Gulak versus Andre Chase one-on-one. Drew Gulak did, however, win the matchup with the Gulak, but then couldn't let go of it. Hank Walker was taking it back, and everybody's like, okay. Then Mackenzie Mitchell interviewed Wesley about what will happen between Dijak and D'Angelo. He said, I'm going to have a front row seat to that matchup. And if one of them wins, they'll get a shot at me for the title. A North American title. Then Kofi Kingston went one-on-one with Joe Gacy. The Dyad tried to get involved. Ayla Rain tried to get involved, but despite all of that, even Xavier Woods, who was commentating, decided to distract the Dyad and everybody else. In the end, Kofi Kingston did pick up the victory over Joe Gacy. As Gulak and Walker celebrate the win, Walker's like, yeah. I know that, but sometimes a win's a win. And then Charlie Dempson confronts on both men and says, I'm ready. I'll be taking on this guy. So Charlie Dempsey and Hank Walker will go at each other one-on-one at New Year's Evil next week. But then, once again, New Day was gloating to Pretty Deadly how they won Kofi won the match and everything else. Pretty Deadly says, we're sick of it. We'll go up against three of the best teams, and we win that gauntlet match against those three teams. We get a shot at the belts. New Day goes, fine, go for it. And then the Grayson Waller effect. The guest was Braun Breaker. And Grayson Waller tried to do everything he can to insult Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker's just sitting there, well, hey, it doesn't bother me, and all that. Grayson Waller tried to get personal and all that. But then after, because I dare you, and finally, Braun Breaker punches him, throws him out of the ring, and then slams him, and then as Grayson Waller rolls out of the ring, Braun Breaker picks up the cell phone, starts talking to it, goes over it with the cell phone, leaps over, trying to do what Logan Paul did. Hilarious. And that's where it ends right there. So, as Braun Breaker stands tall in the middle of the ring, it'll be very interesting to see what happens next week on NXT. So, it's going to be a lot of fun. NXT New Year's Evil, we'll probably find out who the individual behind the countdown vignette is. We'll find out next week. 20-woman battle royal. Can't wait to see that. We'll see what happens. Okay? So, that's all the time we have on this show. Episode 273 of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977 is complete. Tomorrow, we'll play some Joker's Wild. Wild Wednesday. The first first Wild Wednesday of 2023. As I do battle against that rotten, nasty devil. See what... And I'll be well aware, too. I'm going to try to prepare new thumbnails for the year 2023 of the show. Of all the segments there is. I've already got one for the Saturday Shenanigancade. I'm going to try to get one for the Flash game shows I've been playing. And not only that, though, I am going to try to get one for my show as well. So, that's all the time. So that's it. Excuse me. Woo. Okay. That's all the time we have on this show. So, thank you for tuning in. Until the next episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans hits here on YouTube, Mr. Announcer, please take us home. Goodbye for now. That is all for today's episode. This is Mr. Lima speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E tour for Bob Saget production, and in association with A sweet Boffa Raving Dingleberry telepictures and distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode of the show. See you on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now, and have a very blessed day.